I don't like when it sounds like there's a waterfall on top of my tent. I don't like that. You take those side roads, you're in the wilderness.
Oh, nice.
That's the Snake Hill Church. That's good. Something marked with Native American rock shelters in this area. See, I've never been here before, I don't know. There it is. That's probably one of those giant woodpeckers. Maybe we'll see it. Sounds far away, I don't know. Let me zoom out. Quartz. It's not high quality though. This is.
Here's this.
So there is some high quality quartz in the area.
There's a few spots you could lay down and be protected from the rain and the wind. Maybe have a little campfire down there.
Well, if you put a campfire in something like this, if this heats up, it might fall. So if you go back and look at some old Les Stroud episodes of Survivor Man, he talks about setting a fire in rock shelters like this and his fear of the rock splitting from the heat and falling on top of him while he's sleeping. So you're not going to want to do that unless you absolutely have to.
Oh, we've got some nice quartz crystals right here too. Oh, look at that. It looks like smoky quartz.
So there's a few caves speckled throughout this hill, and all of those are large enough to get out of the rain, get out of wind, get out of storms. And if you had a camp here, you could put the fire right in front of the cave and it would still heat up the cave, and you wouldn't have to worry about what I was talking about earlier. All along this area, there's a lot of quartz outcrops, which is very good for stone tools if you don't want to travel very far from your homes, which would be right back up in there. So they could easily just come along in the woods here, which probably wasn't like this that long ago. But you could even go back to that little tiny creek and look for quartz cobbles in the water. Crack them open, make your stone tools right from your home. So what do you guys like to see on trails? Woods roosters.
Chickens.
Chickens. So what do you guys like to see on trails? Let me know in the comments. I'm just going to keep that in. What do you guys like to see on trails? I'm going to show you what I like to see. The kinds of things that I like to see on trails when I'm hiking. When I'm hiking.
Is it cold? Good lord. Good lord. You're soaked.
What?
You're soaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one.
Little tiny. This is that blue-gray stuff with the inclusions. You got a hammerstone. Blocky, but you could make some spear points out of that. I'm going to take this piece, but not this piece. This piece has a lot of the chalky stuff. So I'll take this. This looks good. The black stuff. Here. Hold this.
Oh, nice.
That's the Snake Hill chert. That's the really good stuff. This stuff in particular. Alright. Yes. This is what it came from. It's very, very smooth. Pretty good. Nice and thin. Traded. Let's see. This is the same stuff.
Is that a good piece?
It's not too great compared to that other piece we just found. No, that's more chalky and shale-like.
Kind of like limestone. A
Yeah.
little bit.
Tiny bit. Yeah. Hey guys, this is the last stop for me in the Catskills before heading up to the Adirondacks. And some of you might recognize this place from one of my older videos. And I'll link that right here so you can click and see. All the rock is gone. It's been washed away. So that's what I'm talking about in that video, where I say that when there's a lot of rain, it moves a lot of the rock around. So as you can see here, there's nothing here anymore. It's all been, I mean, there's even a tarp that the rocks were on top of apparently, but everything's been washed away. So right about here under the water was where I found that giant block of flint that I broke up with the sledge. The mini sledge, my favorite mini sledge. But look at this. This water was all the way up to there even. The camera's, there you go. See how it's all pushed down? The water was all the way up there. Usually it's like a little tiny creek here. It's all been knocked down and washed away. So that means that there's probably flint down there now. So okay, just stopped in here. Wanted to poke my head in. And I'm going to head up to the Adirondacks now. So I'll see you guys soon. Another campsite, and it was pouring and pouring and pouring. Then this morning I woke up and it started downpouring again, so I was like, let me try to move to a different area and see if the weather's any better, which it is over here. But this is not the campsite we're going to stay at. I just wanted to show you a good example of what these primitive sites look like. It's right on the water, right there. It's a little bit windy, so hopefully that's not an issue with the sound. There's a trail going down here for people to fish. Literally just a little fire ring right here. And this place has a right up this little trail here is something that most campsites don't usually have. And I thought it was a little interesting. Yeah, it was this way. There's a toilet in the woods. So apparently there's bears stealing food at every campsite along this lake. This lake here, we're in the Adirondacks. This is called Horseshoe Lake. And it looks like it's a pretty good spot, but I wanted to go north more. So I just stopped in here to do an update, and we're getting really excited to get to the campsite that I've been looking for. I'm excited to show you guys that. So I'm gonna get back on the road. I just stopped here for a minute to check it out. There's the truck right there. And yeah, the past 2 days it's been a little weather-wise, it's not been good. But I'm gonna try to stop more at little roadside shops and take a look around at those. Possibly in those, I don't know. But I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff up in the mountains here. So I will record as much as I can and you know, offload it from the camera to the laptop. And okay, yeah, I'm just talking. Okay, so I'm gonna take one more look at the lake, and then I'm gonna head up. I got about an hour drive further into the mountains. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, so we're driving, obviously, and I wanted to just show you what these what these roads look like. Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera. Okay, guys, so there are black flies here. I just got bit. That's new to me. So I wanted to show you these cool signs. Let me see if I could zoom in on that. I cannot. Horseshoe Lake Wild Forest, as opposed to like a domestic forest, I guess. Let's see, Trail to Black Pond. Yeah, I like these little signs. That's really cool. Okay, just wanted to show you guys that. I'm like, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Like, I just hear birds. It says Forest Preserve, State Land Wild Forest. Right on that tree there. And there's a trail. But, yeah, the black fly, it bit me. It freaking hurt. What the hell? Looked like a little devil fly. Like a little evil fly. Like it looked mean. Alright, I'm getting out of here before more bite me. Mean little things. I'll show you a picture of it here or something. Okay, I'm going. Back in the truck. See you guys. Now there are cars scattered coming up and down this main road going through. But both sides is a lake. And they're massive lakes. They're huge. I'll just show you a 360 here. There's a car coming. Lake on that side, lake on the other side. Man. Alright, so it's just a lot of this. This is way more wilderness than pretty much any of the other places I've ever been to. This is crazy. Like, you can't really tell on the main road here, but you take those side roads, you're in the wilderness. Alright. Check back soon. So right now, I just checked the elevation. It says I'm about 1,585. And so we're up in a mountain, and there's freaking water everywhere. There's water on the other side too. There's all kinds of wildlife everywhere. This is amazing. And in this section here, there appears to be a lot of traffic, and I don't know why. Okay, heading out. So we pulled off at, this is called Tupper Lake in New York. It's off Route 30. And I saw the hills out there and all, and I just wanted to check it out. It looks really nice. There's a few people out on a boat already. It's kind of early in the morning. I was just looking along the shore here to see if I see any flint, but I don't see any. It's just rocks. But just stopped here. It looked like a giant lake, and I was getting tired from driving, so we're pretty far north now. It's a little windy. It's way cooler here, and we're getting close to the campsite that I wanted to check out. So I'm excited. It's been a long drive, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff, and I'm a little overwhelmed. And I kind of want to get out on a boat and go straight across, but I don't have a boat. Pretty cool looking tourist town. Up that way is a whole bunch of like McDonald's and stuff like that, just in that section. But if you head up further, there's, when you're heading towards the mountain, there's all kinds of little antique shops and stuff that I want to check out. Alright guys, so here they got the Canadian flag alongside that flag. So there is a thing with lumberjacks in this town. I've noticed quite a few statues so far. Check that out. I'm gonna take a look at this real quick. So it says Memorial, Past, Present, and Future Woodsmen. Well, that's awesome. And this little plaque right here says there was a sawmill standing here. I'll show you that. Now there's a ball field, baseball. Right there, they're throwing around the ball right now. No game going on or anything. But it says the Big Mill. Here stood from 1890 until 1930. The North Country's largest sawmill, built by John Hurd. It had the longest bandsaw in the world and twice broke the world's record for lumber sawed in a day. That is cool. That is very cool. Alright guys, I'm going to continue on exploring here. I'll give you the 360. There's mountains over there. Okay, get back to you guys soon. So, I'm looking at the bedrock and outcrops here, and I'm not seeing anything that really would contain flint or chert. But that does not mean that the glaciers coming through here and stuff didn't drop flint cobbles in the rivers and creeks and lakes even. So I'm going to look around quite a bit and see if I find anything. I'm not really seeing any limestone, and usually where there's limestone, there's some kind of chert mixed in with. I'm not really seeing any limestone outcrops, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to look around and see if there's even limestone chunks in the water. So this is like, what I was talking about is this road here. This is right, you know, you leave that town of Tupper Lake and everything is just the side roads that cut through. It's like lake this way, lake that way, lake this way, lake that way. River this way, river that way, creek this way, fishing that way. So, this is a good place for outdoors people. Outdoors people! Come here.
Also campgrounds.
Also camping. There is a lot of campgrounds. So you can come here with your kayak, you can go camping, you could go biking. Definitely, I see a lot of bike lanes, and the side roads have bike paths. So that's something to look into if you are interested in looking for a cool area to take your bike. Like there.
Jeez. I saw sailboats out there.
Yeah. Up near the Canada border. Middle of nowhere.
So, when we were laying here with all these open, they're just like windows with mesh so that the airflow could come through. And we heard, like, it sounded like there was like a waterfall in the distance or something. And just felt a little bit of wind come. And we both jumped up and started zipping them all up all around the tent.
Just in time. But yeah, it was like a waterfall getting closer and closer and closer until...
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, probably one of the heaviest rains I've ever experienced happened right on top of us. And I was like, oh my God, is the water going to come in the side of the tent here at the bottom? Now, let me show you what I'm talking about. So, this is open here. You can see the grass out there. And, you know, with that amount of rain like that, I was worried it was going to come over the edge. I don't know. That was a lot of rain. It's kind of drizzling now. So, okay. I'm pretty sure the worst of that is over. It's probably 1 in the morning now. I'm going to try to get some sleep. I like the rain sound like that. I don't like when it sounds like there's a waterfall on top of my tent. I don't like that. I like this stuff. This is nice. Alright guys, I'm going to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Want to say good night? Good night. I'm gonna explore an actual flint mine. This is not so much a quarry as it is a mine into the side of a mountain. Now this place is pretty special, pretty interesting. There's lots of glacial erratics like this one that I'm sitting on. So what I'm doing is just exploring and trying to get a feel and understanding of these ancient locations where ancient people found their toolstones, and to try to get an idea of how they acquired in this case it's a rhyolite, but I'm just going to call it flint because that's what most people understand as a nappable material. So it's not at the top of the mountain. It's actually straight into the side of a mountain. And you cannot see any of this material from the top of the mountain. It just looks like granite to me. I'll just let you guys get a feel of this place. It wouldn't have changed much in the past 10,000 years besides that city down there, that little town, little city. The river was probably flowing a lot more at the base of this mountain.
after stopping for that view, I'm going to go try to explore the actual mine itself. Now, from what I know about this place, there are no artifacts here, and there is no flint left. Everything was taken by ancient people and taken with them. They did not leave any tools, they did not leave any artifacts in the cave, and they left no flint. They took all of it. You could see the little scattered remains of what's left, but it's nothing that anybody could use. But it is still really, really cool to see this location. And for me, this is probably one of the most important historical sites in the Northeast, just because of how extensive this mining was. Right here is the mine entrance, and you could see that there's a boulder holding the entrance up. And inside you could see traces of the rhyolite, of what's left of it. And you could see where, I'm going to call them stone mauls, large rock hammers were hitting the inside of this cavern. And you can see they left a support structure up right in the middle here, and then quarried straight up out the top, right above this. This is what's holding the whole cave up. And this is one of the more interesting places that I have been to. It had a very strong energy to it. A very interesting energy to this whole area. The rhyolite would have been like a blue-orange, from what I know. I'm going to splice in an artifact here of this made from this material that is now long gone. And if you think about doing this with Stone Age tools, this must have been quite an extensive project for these people over a couple thousand years of getting into this side of this mountain, probably with antler and stone tools. That's really crazy to think about, and to see that they had the know-how to leave a support here, saying where they were striking and what kind of tools they might have been using.
You see it? There's a little bit there.
To make this mine. And at the top, I could see that they were hitting with a large hammer, a large stone hammer. And they left that little bit of flint right there as the support beam. And that is, as you can see, it's all weathered and freeze-cracked, and
It's just,
They said they stopped.
there's not much left of it.
who cares?
I see what happened. I could see why they stopped using it. I can see why they stopped using it.
Why?
I did sit in this cave for quite a while, just contemplating and listening to the sounds. The sounds themselves were pretty amazing. The acoustics of the inside of this mine, the way the sounds from the outside of the cave coming in sounded really interesting, and there was a lot of water dripping, and the wind coming in was making a howling that I thought was really cool. To me, it looked like they were taking these out in bricks, almost bricks. But artifacts made from this material have been found all over the Northeast, and it was widely used material. It must have been really good to exhaust it, like there's nothing left, which is pretty amazing to me. They took the entire resource and used all of it. Now, they wouldn't have just been making spear points from this. They also would have been making their cutting tools, their knives, their scrapers for scraping hides, along with any other, drill tool that they might have needed, or any number of things. So you could imagine how important this mine was to people if this was where they got their tools to be able to survive. So this place must be really special, really almost magical. I know it is to me. You could see in this shot that they came in through the wall and then mined back out right through the roof. And the mine itself is right at the top in the side where I'm zooming here. And that's where we just were. And I just wanted to share this location with you. I thought you would appreciate seeing another ancient spot in America. And the other spot that I wanted to check out, but we weren't able to on this trip, is Mount Washington, right there in the background, covered in snow. But we went to a campsite that actually had a fairly large creek running through it. There is a lot of quartzite, which is usable. You can use quartzite for knapping. And that in Vermont and New Hampshire, there appears to be a lot of quartzite in these creeks. So if you're looking for material to knap in Vermont and New Hampshire, you're going to be looking for quartzite. And to be able to identify quartzite, I have another video called No Flint, No Problem on my playlists, and you're going to want to check that out to be able to see what these quartzite and quartz materials look like in creeks and oceanside even. And the water is extremely clear up here, clear and blue tinted. Inside this creek was quartzite and quartz by large amounts. And when I'm investigating these creeks and rivers, I usually go in them with rubber boots, but I forgot my rubber boots, so I just went into the freezing cold water in my shorts.
That was some pain. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed another episode of Ancient Places in America. And I really do enjoy exploring these places and sharing them with you. They're really, really curious places that not too many people know about. Anyway, that is it for me, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this content and you want to see more. Let me know you want to see more. If you want to see more, comment that you want to see more. Let me know. You guys have a good one. Safe travels. And see you all soon.